So it's a pleasure to be here and meet you. Some of you I've seen around before, but not all of you. How many have never seen me before? Okay, then I need to behave. Yeah, that's good. So what I will tell you a little about my background is that my name is Hogn, and that means, in fact, to take care of. That is the meaning of the word. And I'm grown up on the western coast of Norway. And my father, he was the youngest of 4 in his family. And if he has been the oldest one, he has been a farmer at the western coast. And I have been a farmer as well, because that small farm has been in the family since 1521. And we have been very close to the earth. We have been very close to fishing, farming, and know how important it is to make food. But my father, he was not so happy to be a farmer, so he had to do something else. So he was kicked out, had to go to the university in Oslo, and became a physician. So he, in fact, has been, and he was very satisfied when he has finished his medical school at the age of 26. And then he settled down and stayed in the same spot in a small town called Stavanger for close to 50 years. So when he was treating people, it was more to say, okay, I knew your grandfather, and he was so and so, so it may be something like that. Or he could say, okay, I see that your cat is not quite good today, or your dog has some problem. That might be the problem. So he never took, very few at least, blood tests, laboratory tests. This was much more that with this communication directly with people, finding out what are the major elements in your life, and then people loved him. So he was a physician like that. So of course I should be like him. But as you see, I've done a lot of things. So I ended up, I should be the really academic doctor, do a lot of things. So I made a lot of research. I've been involved in a lot of companies and made pharmaceutical products and other things. But a big change came in 2001, because at that point in time, it was a new position that they asked for a new CEO for the Norwegian Food Research Institute. And for a physician with a lot of science behind, that is rather strange to evaluate, to go into the food industry. And also for the food industry or the research institute, they found out, should we dare to take a medical doctor in this? But this was then in the beginning, or in an area where we were more connecting health and food. If you go 15 years back, of course we knew it was a connection, but at that point, it was even more important to say that it's not only to take these garbage people and heal them with surgery or give them medicine. It may be a lot of connection between to eat right or have the right nutrition, and then also use that into the health aspect. So in a couple of years when I was in charge of that institute, we got a lot of grants from Norway, from Europe, combining medicine and food. And that really opened my eyes also, going back to my father and the Western Coast. What did they do that was so important to stay around? Because we heard about Helm's, not father, but grandfather. We have to say that. Helm is still a young man, so he can't have a 107-year-old father. That has been fantastic. But in my family, they used to be very old. So my grandfather, he got 104 years of age. So the story of that is that he was born in, this grandfather, he was born in 1826. And my father, he is born in 1926. And my father is still around, so he is now turning 90. So when I then take my father in his hand, he has taken the hand of his grandfather, and that guy, he has taken somebody that lived in 720 in his hand. So when you see this long line, that it's not so many generations between 300-400 years. So, so therefore, the whole thing is that the importance then for my life to say, okay, instead of being the very academic doctor with a lot of publications, with some nitty-gritty small things, it may be a very good thing to do on an important part of your life to work with health and food and give good advices to people that are concerned about health and would like to stay healthy and would like to help other people to stay healthy. And all of us, if it's not only to stay healthy, because we won't stay healthy in a room for ourselves and stay in isolation. We will do it and be healthy together with people we love, over family, children, whatever. And when you grow older, I'm very curious to see what happens with my grandchildren. So therefore I have to stay around, you see. And realize that my children, they are not so very good parents, so I have to assist them. So my grandchildren at least will be happy. And perhaps that will be the same with grandchildren. So that is at least something that you need to have energy and you need to have something important to do. And follow the family is one thing. And to get the right advices, and if I can help to coach you a little together with a team in Ecology, that is fantastic to just stay around and do the best we can of the time, the very tiny time we stay on Earth. And my role then in Ecology is to try to in the team be this medical guy that knows something. I don't know so much about business, but Borre and his team, they know that. But at least that what we sell and what we use energy on and really push on people is because these people, they should use it. It's okay that we earn some money, but they should also use these products because it's good for them and the people, they push it on. Okay. So I have this role in Ecology now close to 5 years. And through that period, we are improving, but we end up to scope down. It's not so many products, perhaps, that is important. But now we have talked about the pure Arctic oil. That is one of the basement products we need. So every cell should have a good membrane, good transportation system so that it works. What we are going to talk about now is even more about what is happening inside the cells. It's okay that you have transportation, garbage out and energy in, but what is happening in fact inside the cells, and how can we then push and get the best potential out of the cells? And that is what EQ Essential is about. This is something about the team in Ecology, and a lot of people say these companies working with dietary supplements and so on, they are crazy. And they also say that, okay, Hogn, perhaps you are one of these dropouts, so physicians that don't know anything. But I'm really proud to be a part of this team because I feel it meaningful to be there. And therefore we have the idea and values in Ecology that is not only to earn money, but has a lot to do with integrity, that we are working with the right things, we respect each other, and we do things together. So when I'm talking about that I'm happy and I'm clever, it's the team that together makes us shine and makes this a good place to stay. And that will also you realize when you are working with us as distributors or consumers. We really respect you all and will try to assist you. We have one guy over there that comes up, this Mr. Is it Lean, something like that. He has a lot of questions all the time because he would like to support you with the right answers on question. So they come to me and I try to help him as good as I can. But that is one way to respect each other, that we won't let you go into uncertainty because you don't know about this product, but that we try to give you the real history behind them. So when we are now talking about essential, it has something to do with parodies in the past. When they were walking around making love, no, not very often, but at least they have, Adam and Eva had a fine time, they had special food, and they had good time, but they were not eating so much meat. It was more fruit, vegetables, outdoor activity. So they had a lot of antioxidants, a lot of minerals, a lot of vitamin, everything. So when we try to be on vacation, we try to be a little in that kind of paradise. You agree? Going to some place with sun and sunshine and beaches and so on. Therefore, when we are looking into what they had of food and diet, this is absolutely an important part, because then they had natural food, they had a lot of the right ingredients they found there, and if they have had all the other protections around their life, I guess they could have been very old. They were not, the reason they died were more accidents, lions, whatever happened, they were drowning, and they had fire problems and everything. When we compare this with how we are living today, everybody see it's a big, big difference. And I guess the most is to say that it's a combination of everything, that we are in less activity, we are sitting on the same chair, that's always, we are not moving around. And also we have made an environment where we are exposed to food that doesn't give us the right things. One thing was talking about the fish that we believe is fish that is very healthy, but is now given more and more vegetables as food, pellets, and not real marine food. Also, when we take vegetables and other things, it's also a problem that the minerals and water quality, fertilizers are different from what they used to be. So also there we lose a lot of the good elements that we should have. So therefore, we do not have the food that we have. We come also back to that when we had physical activity, as my grandfather did when they were working on the farm. Of course, they were out 12 hours a day, hard physical work. They didn't go to sweaters or fitness studio afterwards. They were absolutely tired after one day of work. And of course, then they had a diet with 4,000, 6,000 calories a day, and they ate a lot of fruit, potatoes, vegetables directly from the ground. So of course, then they also got much more vitamins and minerals and everything they needed. Now we try to reduce our diet to 2,000 calories or less in order to stay as slim as we are, or should we even be slimmer. And then you see we are not able to get all these good things from the nature as we should have. So therefore, we know it's a big difference between the diet and lifestyle some time ago and today. So, and if we know that, and if we shall help ourselves and our family, it is important, number one, to realize, yes, Hogn, perhaps I could improve. Perhaps I could do something with my diet. Perhaps I just could take a little coaching from somebody that have the good advices. And now you all can be one part of this advisory board in Eqology. Just let people be aware of, perhaps you have a little problem, not a big one. No, not a big one, a little one. And then we can help you. And then, if you then really have this drive as I have, that we are interested to be together with the people we love, spend time and have a good time, then these are the people that we also should address and help. And then to do something with your eating habits is quite easy. And if we then also come into the big implication these changes can have by giving the cell surface, we talked about omega-3, that Borre said 5-7 years of additional lifetime, if we just do that small change, that is something. If we even can make something with the energy and the metabolism inside the cell that we know we'll talk about, that can give an additional time. And then suddenly we are there on this 120 years. So Eqology has a group of products, and during the last 4 or 5 years, we have identified the essential, the major parts, and they are included, most of them in this picture. But what this is about is now the introduction of what we think is the best vitamin, mineral, antioxidant product in the world. And before we go into all the details, it's important to say that, that to convince people to take something fluid, an oil fluid, that's a little step, because it's much easier to have a little tablet in your pocket. Okay, now I need a tablet for headache, or no, for better diet, and then finished. If you are so conscious that now we are using the oil, that we need to be a little prepared to take it on a special time in the morning or whatever, if we use multi-chi, other things, this audience of ecology, in the ecology family, we are used to take oil or a solvent for something. And when we also see on the absorption of vitamins and minerals, it's a better administration form to take it in a fluid than to take it in a tablet. So one of the tricks is that we are always preparing products that are legal, that we do not go over dosages that are not recommended or allowed in Europe. But if we give these allowed dosages in a solvent, as we now do in EQ Essential, then more of it will be absorbed, and therefore the body will take more advantage of the good stuff in this solvent. And that is important, because what we want is what is coming into the cells, and that is the end of the story. So that is how it looks like, and now I need Borre to come and assist me, because he is also extremely important when we are working together to see how can we then make the composition of this best product. So, Borre, now you have rested a little, so then this is what you should talk about in the beginning.
Yeah, I think, Hogn, you gave a little bit background for the product, but this product is very similar to the multivitamin we have, VitaStrong. But it's improved. And the improvement is basically by its liquid. And with the liquid, it's going to be a higher biological value, so it's better absorbed. Then we have more minerals in it. And the minerals are called trace and ultra-trace minerals. And they are important, and we will try to give some evidence on that a little bit later. And then there is maybe the most important thing, and that is the antioxidants from plants and berries. So we are taking the best plants and berries from different places in the world when they have a good history, that this kind of plant is giving some added value to your health. That's basically why we formulated this product. So it contains all the essential vitamins. We have a plant-sourced mineral-based with all the minerals, major, trace, and ultra-trace minerals. There is more than 65 minerals in this product. And it's from ionic. I will explain that later. But that means it's water-soluble, better absorbed, higher biological value. And then we have the antioxidants, and we will come back to what we have of that.
And what is important to say is that we have something called RDI, that is recommended daily intake. And these values are put up to say that this is the minimum that the body needs. So therefore, physicians are very concerned to do something illegal, you know. Then we have these kind of lawyers coming and sue us. But therefore, when we have these RDI levels, it's to say that if you recommend that, that is at least not dangerous for anybody. But in fact, this is more for the cells to stay alive. We haven't explored the potential for what is best for Hogn. Perhaps I should have a little more of that one, or a little more of that one. And we have examples, if you look into vitamin C, where the upper limit is 100 milligram per day. And we have one guy that got Nobel Prize in medicine twice. He was close to get it for the third time, Linus Pauling. I listened to him in a congress in Moscow in 1984. And he was one of the guys saying that when you have any kind of infection, flu, virus infection, vitamin C in gram doses are important just to support your immune system and get rid of these diseases. So there we have one example. And it might be also other vitamins we should have more of, but we are following the rules on that. And when you see the function of vitamins and minerals, when you say in this headlines, build bones, heal wounds, strengthen your immune system, that resistant towards infections, inflammation, everything, and then also convert food into energy. That is where we come into what's happening inside the cells. It's not only to absorb it into the body and cells, it must also work the optimal way to make energy, to make what we call in the mitochondria, small factory, energy factory in the body to make ATP. That is again important that if you are warmed out or if you're, it's something about how energetic you look like. And then also to repair cell damages. So before we go into all the different minerals and vitamins, just to have these things okay, do you agree that that should be something to give away for Christmas gift or whatever? Come on, now we improve your wound healing, no more energy. This is something to give away to the people you love. Okay, so then, and I said something about that if we are not able to take a balanced diet, enough calories, we have problems to get these minerals, vitamins in our diet. So that is why even how structured we are, even how balanced food we are, 90% is my statement, need some additional vitamins and minerals in periods during the year to have the best optimal situation for your body. Shall I talk of this?
Yeah, you can.
I can take this. Okay. So that was the. So then he comes up with the minerals afterwards. But this is for the vitamins, and then the headline is to say that for the B vitamins, we see that this is especially important to set that the food we eat go into energy. That's what happens inside the cells. It's important to keep the tissue healthy. It's important for your nails, your skin, your endothelium inside the body and outside the body. Extremely important. So therefore, this is also a part in a lot of when you go for skin care and very expensive creams and so on. They very often include B vitamin. No, that was not that one. And we see that. Come on. What should go the other way here? Vitamins, yeah. And then we talk about proteins, that it build proteins as well, and it is important to make collagen. We talked about that in the break, that collagen, it's important tissue to bind together skin and most organs, and then again, they put this together, make the body works, so it will be a strong tissue in very many of the surfaces we have. I talked about the C vitamin that was more focused on the immune system, and you see it also protects again virus, cold, and then it's important also for stress. And when you come to athletes in restitution period after you have run a marathon or two in the afternoon after work or like that, it's important also to have enough vitamins. And then we talked about dosages. So I won't go through all the names of what each of them do, but that is B vitamins, especially for the cell tissue and energy, and C vitamin for the immune system. The fat-soluble vitamins normally has been told to be 4, A, D, E, and K. And vitamin K, that means coagulation. And in fact, K is 2 different vitamins. K1, help the body to stop bleeding wherever it is, the coagulation system. And K2, that we know a lot about. That is my secret. I will tell you more in detail later on, not today. But K2 is extremely important for the bone activity, to let the osteoblast really bind calcium and strengthen your bone. And K2 is extremely important to reduce the tendency of calcification of arteries. So in fact, K2 will let your calcium stay where it should be in the bone and don't let it be generated inside the blood vessels and make calcification of that. So that was some, and we have then a combination of these vitamins in our product. Then we have now the right button. So it's a mineral.
Yeah, so the minerals are key elements, and we talk about major trace and ultra trace minerals. You need them to stay healthy. Example, if you are an endurance athlete, or if you feel like you have to go to the doctor, then that's possible a sign you're lacking minerals. If you don't feel good, it's not necessarily the vitamins, it's more likely it's the minerals. An athlete, an endurance athlete, will actually perform 10-15% less if you're on the top level, if you're lacking some kind of minerals. You need salts, and you need magnesium, you need different kind of minerals to perform as an athlete. And all of you are athletes on a daily basis. If you're home with kids, at work, and so on, you're athletes. So you will actually perform better if the mineral base are on a right level. And this is all connected with enzymes, transponders, molecules, signals, and things like that going on in your body. So we can go to the next slides. And then we go to, we already touched base already, but the truth is that we are actually not, it's not so easy to get all these things today. Why? Because when we, in the Netherlands, when we are farmers and we want to have maybe tomatoes, I don't know, then it's all about the money. So you're trying to produce that tomato as fast as possible. And then when it grows very fast, it's not containing as much minerals. And the first thing you will see is maybe if it tastes very little, it's because it's been growing very fast. In Norway, we say we have the best strawberries in the world, and that is also the most mineral-rich strawberries. Why? The strawberry is growing very slow, because we have a very cold climate, and in the night. Very healthy strawberries in Norway. And in Belgium, it's the country that has maybe the most strawberries production in the world. Still healthy, but I know that maybe the Norwegians are a little bit more healthy. And you can also taste it. It's more, flavors to it. So, so when we are depleting the soil, because we are harvesting the same thing over and over again, and harvesting very fast, the fruit, vegetables, and everything we eat don't contain as much minerals as before. That's the message. And also what Hogn said, before when we were farmers, we had to work hard, and we maybe had 4,000 or 5,000 calories average. And then you had to eat a lot of food, and then you get everything you needed in vitamins and minerals. Today, you even, on 2,000 calorie diet, you get fat. And 2,000 calorie diet might not give you everything you need from vitamins and minerals, might not. And basically, if you know you are eating poor, you know when you're not eating the right things. Like I told you earlier, maximum nutrition per calorie. So when you're eating poor diets, you will not get it. So at least maybe on those days you need something extra. That's the message. And then if you go to the minerals, there is the classes: major, trace, and ultra trace. Will you explain more about the function?
So when I went to medical school, that is many years ago, then what we learned about, that were these major minerals. And when you look into those, calcium, chloride, magnesium, potassium, phosphor, sodium, sulfur, they had a lot to do with water balance in the body and transportation over the membrane between cells and the bloodstream, lymph stream, all these kind of things. So we knew that because of osmotic pressure, how many molecules within the cells and outer cells, it was the water transport. And we know that 2/3 of our body is water, even if it doesn't look like that always. But that is why we see that the balance in water in these different phases are extremely important. So therefore we are talking about gram amounts of minerals. That has been well known. But even that is a challenge if you then are dehydrated, if you have been exercising, if you have been a lot out in the sun, and so on. We know that that needs to be taken care of when you are drinking water and gear up your body after you've been doing something special. But when you then go into trace minerals and minerals, there the knowledge has increased a lot the last 20, 30 years.
You can go to the next slide first, because I will talk about selenium, zinc, and biotin. If you go to the next slide.
No, but you can continue on.
Yeah, just go to the next one.
You next?
So if you look at selenium, zinc, and biotin, which is vitamin B7, it's actually a claim on your hair health. So if you have these minerals or lacking these minerals, you are actually at risk of not having healthy hair. So it's actually approved claim from the European Commission. Vitamin B7, which is biotin, selenium, and zinc, are officially recognized by the European Commission as contributing to the maintenance of normal, healthy hair. So this is just an example. So it's also how you feel and how you look, minerals and vitamins. So it's everything going on a cellular level.
And that is also a lot what we say, that how the body has it, how the shape of the body has a lot to do now with what is happening inside, not the organ, but the cell. We are talking about biology, cell biology. So to make us live long and to make the body have a good time, then we are talking about these mechanisms inside and around the cells, and there come these minerals, very important. So more and more data are now generated to say how much should we have of these minerals, and we know something about zinc, as we talked about, extremely important for wounds, for example. I had, since we have a colleague from Germany here, I had a small paper in Lancet a long time ago saying that silver is important for anti-infective activity. So we made a paper saying when you have to replace your hip with metal, if you then have some silver in the cement around the metal in the hip, then it lasted longer. So we know that a lot of these metals and minerals are important for many functions in the body, and therefore again to have secure that the body get enough of it is extremely important. And then we go to the ultra trace minerals, and the ultra trace minerals, that is even more science popping up every day, because now we are not talking about milligram. It's 1,000 milligram in 1 gram, and that was this trace minerals. Here we are talking about microgram, and I can't show you a microgram. It's between my thumb and the other index finger, but it's nothing. But we need that nothing amount of these minerals in the body. For example, how the nervous system should work, how electricity is transported, how a lot of enzymes are working, how hormones are built or are facilitated. A lot of these things, and that is what Borre talked about, that if people, even men, we are not energetic all the time, but even men, they may lack some of these very small elements in the body, and then they don't understand why I'm not that energetic that I should be, and it can be lack of these kind of materials in micrograms. So that is, this is in fact something that in order for every cell in the body to be able to function optimal, that we need these kind of elements. And Borre also talked, these are not the total amount of them, these are just what we know are some of them that are important. And we are also sometimes we believe that to have a lot of carrots and a lot of healthy drink and shakes should cover all our needs. But we talked about that if the farmers are not that clever, so my family used to be the last 500 years, then it may be that the cultivation and the fertilizer, everything doesn't give the optimal vegetables anymore. So I stole some of your comments now. Will you?
This is fine. You can go on.
We take the next.
Yeah.
Okay. Then comes what this is the real fight. This is the real war that's taking place in the body. Because every day there are millions of cells killed in the body. So it's a battle all the time. How can we reduce the number of soldiers that kills my fellow people that I love? How can we reduce that damage? And the mechanism is that what we call free radicals. That means when you have cells that have atoms where it's not the paired amount of electrons that are circulating around the nucleus, then these cells, if that is lacking, is in fact the free radical. So that then is circulating in the body and coming into a cell, coming into DNA, that can do damage. And the body has a lot of cells that will work as antioxidant, but if then one of these cells are giving away one of the electrons over here, then you will also damage the cells in the body. So by taking antioxidants, that can be some of the herbs, some of the fruits, what we have put into EQ Essential, we give one load of soldiers with antioxidant that is trying to assist and neutralize these free radicals so they can't make damage to the cells, cell membranes, and DNA in the body. And this is an extremely important, so that has a lot to do with what we eat. If we just have McDonald's all the time, we know that we have already, we can make the image in our head how that looks like. If we more eat fruit, vegetables, and do something with that, then we replace bad things and have repairment system in place. So here we have another few pictures telling something of it. Here we have a free radical that lacking this one. So therefore, if you take if we neutralize that, then we can let the cell stay healthy. So this is an example then of a cell that is attacked by a free radical. That means that both the cell membrane and even the DNA inside the membrane can be damaged. So the whole thing is, as the previous picture, we try to give an extra electron so it doesn't end up with these particles that can damage the cells and material. And then it's a lot of fruits, vegetables, whatever in the nature that contains antioxidants. And how should we pick the best one? And here, that we have talked about. So then it's some rationale where Borre has been this big thinker, how we have been thinking around to take the best one.
Yeah, basically it's coming from fruit, vegetables, it can come from what protects the fruit. So it can be the shell or, when you cut the apple, you cut it in two, the apple gets brown. So then you have the green, if you have green apple, that's the outside of the apple, that's protecting the apple. So that's the antioxidant. And then we know by a value called ORAC, which is a way to measure antioxidants. Then we have taken what we know today contains most antioxidants, or a good blend of them, because antioxidants work better in synergy with other antioxidants. Then we have taken what we believe is the strongest antioxidants from different places in the world, and that's how we came up with this formulation. So, that's the simple explanation about that. And then,
How
yeah, if you go to the next slide, we can talk about the key ingredients.
Yeah. Yeah,
Coming up on the next slide.
Yeah.
Here, the mangosteen. So the mangosteen is a fruit, and this is like, if you look at this fruit is coming from a plant that is evergreen. It's green, staying green all the time. And if you look at plants that stay evergreen, very few of them produce fruits. And then we believe, the scientists believe, when you can have an evergreen plant producing a fruit, it will contain a lot of antioxidants or flavonoids, or what we call P vitamin 4. Why? Because staying green is very difficult at times. So because the plant is attacked by too much water, too much sun, or it's too dry, or it's flies that starts to eat on the fruit or whatever, then the plant produces antioxidants to protect the fruit. So mangosteen is such a fruit coming from an evergreen plant that is attacked all the time by the environment. And that's why it has a lot of antioxidants. So it's well known. So that's one of the ingredients we have.
And in addition to that, it's identified with strong antioxidant effects. You also see that it stores around these fruits in different parts of the world. So this one is especially then connected to good heart health. And when they have investigated, you see it has an impact on the blood vessels. They talk about reduction of cholesterol. So that is what normal people has observed by taking a lot of this fruit that also contains antioxidant. You also have this kind of stories around it. So then that is important to take storytelling, what they have experienced with this one.
Aloe vera is well known for skin, protecting the skin. We all know that we use aloe vera if you're sunburned and so on. But to eat aloe vera and have its skin protection inside out is quite a lot of evidence protecting the skin better. And then you have some quite good evidence that aloe vera also helped on your digestive process, good for your digestion. And then the green tea, we talked earlier about the Japanese living the longest. We know they eat a lot of fish oil. We also know they have a lot of green tea. Green tea and green tea extract has some super high antioxidants value. So that's a lot of evidence, and that's why we have that one.
So these are three of the major sources of antioxidant in EQ Essential. So therefore, when we talk about what does the individual do, it's of course the totality of antioxidant activity in EQ Essential that is important, but also then we can have stories of each of them. So you get the best of that one, when you then have to convince people that this is important for your body. And remember that picture. These are, we just get you a bunch of soldiers every day in order to protect yourselves to stay around a bit longer. So for each cell that just live 50% longer, and if we average should live until we are 80, 50% plus 80, then we are 120. And as I also say, it's important that most of us then have good friends that stay around that long, because it's not that fun to be alone the last 40 years of life. So that is important then, that is more or less the same as I said, that the reason to stay around until you are old is that you should have fun, and you do it in a period where you don't have so much pain and suffering, and you do it because there's something you will achieve in this remaining years. And therefore, you have to have fun, you have to then also look around and don't just sit in the chair and look at the television, but then these small things that we have here will help you to stay healthy that period.
I can also say, together with the fish oil, it's all about eating anti-inflammatory diets. So you should eat more fruit and vegetables. You know, 5 a day. We even talk about 7 a day. So with this powerful mix of antioxidants. That's, if you have one doses, which is 59 milliliters a day, that's easily one a day, easily. Maybe it's 2 a day. Maybe we can do some more research on that, but easily 1 a day. So then you maybe need only four more things. But as much fruit and vegetables a day, eat anti-inflammatory diet, and you will stay healthy.
Shall we take the next?
Yeah, so beneficial for your health, quality of life, anti-aging, definitely, stay healthy, and energy, to sum up. That's what we're trying to.
So what you know have participated in, ladies and gentlemen, and royalties or whatever is there, this has been the first pre-launch of what we say is the best vitamin, mineral, and antioxidant product there is. And to use that together with the other things we have, it will be absolutely good for you, as it is good for us. And in fact, Borre and I, we are about, he said 48, in fact he is 88 years of age. So you see how healthy he looks.
Okay, if you look at the next slide, we can go through.
And you can take the business part. Yeah.
What will be a fair price for a product like this? A fair price. So right now we are in a pre-launch of this product. Unfortunately, we don't have a sample for you to taste it, but it tastes fantastic. We have to sum up. Here is for you to if you can pass it. This is everything we have been talking about in the brochure. It's in English. You will have it in Dutch very soon. I'm talking about as soon as we can print it. It's ready to print. So that means maybe within 1 week you will have it in Dutch. And then what is a fair price on a product like this? You need 59 milliliters a day. That means 2 bottles for a month supply. 2 bottles. So then you pay 38 euros for a 30-day supplement, 2 bottles.
What did you say? How much today?
59 milliliters. 59, 59. 59, almost 60, yeah? And you take it as a nutritional shot. It's good to take it together with a meal, maybe together with, if you believe in the omega-3, take it with some fat, because then you absorb the vitamins better. So you can even take it as an energy shot. If you feel low on energy, you can have it as a shot, and it will also benefit you.